We have a bursting overdue mailbag for you. We've got some NHL 27 rankings and a whole lot more. That's coming up next on CHGO Blackhawks. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. Hope you're having a great day. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Mario Tirabassi.
Hello.
Right there. Chloe Thiel is over there. Great thumbnail today, by the way. Can you throw that back up? Are you capable of doing that? Let's let everyone observe the wonderment of your... No?
Nothing like a curveball.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Just go look for it on
10 seconds
Twitter.
into the show.
It's just really good.
There
it is.
Yes.
You did it.
Puzzle pieces.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Really good job,
Very
Chloe.
good.
Now we know why we hired you from Denver. So thank you all for being here. Do us a favor, hit that like button for us. I know we're at a weird time today. We'll also be at a weird time tomorrow, noon tomorrow. Yeah. So make sure you plan accordingly, and then we're back to our regularly scheduled programming from there on out. So yeah, hit that like button. Our friend Katrina is in the chat today, who we see every game.
How about that?
And I saw she put on Twitter that she's asking for some prayers and vibes because she's got a micro discotomy. Something is going on with her discs. So give her some prayers and some vibes to Katrina, one of our favorite people in the world. She always brings us little holiday gifts.
Always says hi up at the press box.
A ray of sunshine
Absolutely.
near the press box.
Yeah, hopefully you're feeling
not
better.
Many rays of sunshine shine.
Yeah. Hopefully her disc
problems.
Backiotomy or whatever it is.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Hopefully that gets resolved.
Her back hurts.
Feeling better.
She needs it fixed. And your vibes / prayers may help. So do that for Katrina. We'd appreciate that. All right. We have a lot to get to today. We have a bursting mailbag left over from Monday. Things have been rolling in reaction to all of our interviews on Monday. If you missed it, Monday we had Jeff Blashill, Nick Foligno, Brian Bickle. We published an interview with Andrew Shaw. Am I missing anybody? Foligno, Bickle, Blashill, Shaw,
and Jason Markey.
Cubs legend Jason Markey. That's out there if you know where to look. So go back and check that out. But we talked a little bit about it yesterday. We won't do as much today, we promise. But NHL 27 put their rankings out. We have the highest rated Blackhawks, all of them. And there they are on your screen. Bedard is a 90 overall. Byram and Knight 87 overall, Patrick Kane 86, Frank Nazar 85, Vlasic and Bertuzzi 84s. So I don't know, it feels fine.
Yeah, I figure that would be pretty much the list of highest rated Hawks on the team going into next season. I'm going to be fascinated to see like what the out of the box rating is for a guy like Roman Kantsarov.
Yeah, doesn't it feel like it's almost always a 78?
Yeah, something like that for someone who's like highly touted but quote unquote unknown to the EA universe because they don't do the KHL players. He's done really well in my NHL 26 franchise mode, which is the
overall. So
no, I use the community update, whatever. What's the guy's name? Vassy updates or whatever. He does like all the prospects and all the stuff. And Roman Kantsarov turned into like the 89. I'm like, I'll take that. Great. That sounds great. Yeah. But also Kevin Korchinski's like a 91. I don't know. There's video game to reality turnover. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's basically what I would have figured it would have been for the Hawks. And as we know, there's always updates and room for growth. Yeah. Maybe there's a couple more guys that get into the top 300 of the game's ratings.
That would be great. That would be very, very welcome. And I do have a little bit of issue with NHL. They published their top 10 goalies. The bottom 3 are 87s. So is Spencer Knight. So by definition, Spencer Knight's a top 10 goalie.
Yes. I was looking at that this morning, and it was like him and like 5 or 6 other goalies are all 87s.
Yeah, was it Wallstedt, Wolf,
Dustin
and,
Wolf? There was a bunch.
There was a third.
Yeah,
that they had in the top 10.
So yeah, he's like tied for 8th, quote unquote.
Yeah,
but that's. I mean, look, that's good. Again,
Dostal. Excuse me, Dostal was the other one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, like that's a quality starting goalie rating in the game, and obviously room for growth, as this last year was just his first full year being a starter.
All right, there you go.
So
there you have it. There's what we know so far about NHL 27 and the ratings for the Blackhawks.
I'm not going to do it.
What?
But I was going to say I want to go back, but I'm interested what Seth Jones was rated when he was brought to the Hawks. So that would have been what, his NHL 22 rating? Because Byram is an 87. Not to continue to put those guys in the same conversation before Bowen Byram even plays for the Hawks. But I'm just wondering, because Seth Jones is 50. The biggest name, biggest profile defenseman that they've brought in recent years, comparable to, not apples for apples, but comparable to the situation that Bowen Byram has brought in.
Yeah, I think these things
I think Jones was what, like 80? He was a high 80s, like 88, something like that.
Maybe.
Around then.
I don't know. We'll have to look. Because I think a lot of these things like EA takes down once they're top 50 players. He's not going to be in the top 50, I wouldn't imagine.
Probably not.
I don't know. We'll have to look. Give us some time. We'll figure it out.
Here, I found it. Seth Jones was an 87 overall.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Thank you, Internet, for helping me remember.
Good job,
that.
Internet.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So, I don't know what that means, but it's just interesting to me.
It is interesting. I think there's a lot of a very similar mindset about both those guys. Of, maybe, drafted high, has been good, maybe not amazing, great, top of the league. A top pair guy and a not great team. That's what they have been so far.
Expectations to be a number one.
Right. And then when they have been on better teams, they have not been number ones. Right?
Yeah, no, Seth Jones isn't no, he wasn't top pair in Florida.
No. I mean, yeah.
I think he was because Aaron Ekblad got suspended.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he's expected to do that.
But that's good. 87 is good. And with an opportunity and a team that is ascending as opposed to a team that is declining, you would think Byram's number can go up. So I hope so. He is a lot of fun to play with in video games.
Oh, yeah.
Real fast.
Those offensive defensemen are fun to play with. Yeah.
He's an exciting player in the game.
Did you notice the last thing about today, they did defensemen and goalies. Yesterday was forwards. Did you notice the top defensemen, Hughes, Makar, and Werenski are all tied for number one at 95 overall.
Shocking.
That's crazy. I can't remember the last time they had that many defensemen that you would say were top rate. Because the last few years, I feel like it's just been Makar, and then Hughes is like 1 point behind him.
Well, we are in kind of a golden age of defensemen right now, really. Like, this reminds me of my formative years getting into the league with like Ray Bourque and Brian Leach and Paul Coffey and like all these like Hall of Fame legendary defensemen. And we got to see how their careers play out. But you feel like there's a lot of guys in that potential mold, right? Like, even you look at a guy like Jake Sanderson, who still has a lot of growth and has been really, really good to start his career. And, it's a really good time. Maybe it's not the golden age of defensemen. Maybe that was the, mid to late 90s, early 2000s. But this is pretty close. Like,
I mean, it's pretty good. You look at the list of the, best defensemen now, and we had the conversation like, would Byram be in the top 20? And it's just like, he's a really good defenseman, but he's not in the top. No, he's not in the top 20.
No.
Like, there's a really good group of. I mean, you have an actual conversation about like a guy like Adam Fox, who is not far removed from being in the conversation of winning a Norris and being in the conversation of top 3, top 5 defensemen in the league. And he's now like, is he top 10? Like there's so many guys that have kind of just grown and become stud defensemen. And it doesn't have to be major point producers. You got a guy like Jacob Slavin, who's like cut the mold of defensive defenseman who's going to be a stopper.
Yeah.
And he's made a real impact and name for himself being one of those types of guys, and it's impressive.
I would like to see. I guess we could probably search like who is because I know they have them sorted by left and right defense, and the left defense are way more highly rated. But Makar, Werenski left, Quinn Hughes left. A lot of these guys are left shots. Slavin is a 91 with like no
offensive input.
Like,
yeah,
dude's awesome. So. Yeah, Lebowski's listing some guys like Niedermeyer, Bork, Leach, Chelios, Lidstrom. Like that was just an insane era. By the way, I tweeted out last night during the Cubs Sox rain delay. Cubs won, by the way, if you weren't paying attention.
Did see that.
Again, the Hawks and Devils game from 2009 was on where Martin Brodeur beat the all-time wins record.
Oh, okay. And
I remember being frustrated with that game. I thought like the Hawks played like ass in that game, but going back and watching it, they kind of didn't. Just Brodeur was great. So Bufflin scores, like a puck just finds me. It's like turns and shoots and they score. And then they pull the goalie, and the Hawks have a bunch of really good looks, including like one where Brodeur like jumps in the air. And I don't know if he got it with his blocker or his leg, but just made an incredible save with like 15 seconds left. But seeing all those guys on the ice again, like it was Kane and Taves and Bufflin, and it was, man, they just kept coming in waves.
Was that the
Keith and Seabrook and
beginning of the 09-10 season, or was that at the end of 08-09?
I believe that was actually a good question.
Yeah,
because Barker was on the team.
Okay, so that would have been end of 08-09 probably.
Let's see, that would be March 17th, 09.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the 08-09 season.
St. Patrick's Day. No.
Yes.
Close to it.
No, that's St. Patrick's Day.
Is it? I thought oh, yeah.
March
you're
17th.
Right. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
And the people in the crowd was Devils jerseys, and then there was one guy behind Brodeur when he was being interviewed with a leprechaun or shamrock necklace with a shot glass attached to it.
Of course. So it definitely was St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, it was. And everyone not in red was in green. And I forgot that Brendan Shanahan was on that Devils team like towards the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that.
I would not remember.
It was,
that.
7GO 777 says Havlat was on that team. Yeah, John Madden was still on the Devils. That's right. So it's Acton. Yeah. Yeah, that should have been the giveaway as Havlat was there. And Javi Bowman was in goal.
Lebowski 55 bringing up Nicholas Lidstrom reminds me of our conversation we had with Jeff Blashill, which if you haven't seen it from Monday's show, go back and watch Monday's show, or you can find it on its own video.
Yeah, we just tweeted
on
this
YouTube.
morning.
It's on Twitter. I didn't say it in the moment because I think we were time crunched with Blashill at the time.
He was talking fast.
He was talking
stressing me out.
very fast, and people were shuffling around like behind the camera. I was like, I think they're trying to push him out of here.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring it up because he said like when we were talking about the left shot, right shot, and how Mike Babcock was like a stickler about it when he was on his staff in Detroit, wanting 3 lefts, 3 rights. And he was just like, but those Detroit teams had a lot of guys that were really good left shots. So, you kind of figure it out. And in my head, I was just like, well, yeah, well, one of them's Nicholas Lidstrom. Doesn't matter if he's left or right. It's going to work. You know, like, it was just funny. I just remembered that was popped in my head at that time.
Yeah, that was a good interview. Check it out. We did for we have 8 or 9 minutes with him. I think we got a lot of important things answered and kind of planted the seed. Like, we'd like to talk to you ahead of training camp too, if we can, or during training camp with a little more relaxation to the conversation. But it was great. We were just really happy to talk to him. And again, thanks to the Helping Hands Network for having us out there on Monday. All right, why don't we hit the break zone early right now, a minute early, and then we will get to the mailbag. If you've not already done it, hit that like button. Stick around. Back in 2 on CHGO Blackhawks. Our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary are here to elevate your baseball season. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. They've got a huge selection with over 100 different strains to choose from, with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. And if you're in Illinois, Sunnyside has a spot for you as far south as Champaign, as far north as South Beloit, which is confusing but true. Check out the Good News Tea Time Vape Lemonade flavored. Great with an Arnold Palmer, great on the golf course, great pretty much anywhere. And while you're there, check out their Stash Pass. That is Sunnyside's summer rewards program. You're earning rewards just by visiting and making qualifying purchases. It's that simple. Live now through September. So head to their website for only the best under the sun, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. That is a great deal. Use our code HICHGO when you check out. Sunnyside Dispensary, only the best under the sun, only for 21 plus or Illinois MedCard holders.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That is the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. It can find and fix problems before you even notice them, like having a super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And it lets you stream the game even when the entire family is online. It's all of your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. The best part is there's no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is included. Take it from us, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. This offer is for select plans only and restrictions apply.
All right, we're back on CHGO Blackhawks, and before we tear open our mailbag, we want to tell you about the 4th annual CHGO Kickoff Classic Golf Tournament at Cog Hill. That is a week from Friday, August 28th. At the Ravines Golf Course. I love that they let us go to Cog Hill. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of an honor to play there, honestly. You can sign up as an individual, a twosome, or a foursome. Your entry fee includes 18 holes with a cart. It's a 4-person scramble. Limited edition CHGO tee gifts for every player, whole contests and games, and a free raffle for great prizes like Chicago Sports Collector's Item and a Bettinardi putter, which I have right here.
Oh.
A Chicago Bears themed. This is still wrapped, so I'm not going to take it out. But this is a very nice Bettinardi putter.
It's heavy.
The putter itself has
the putter
bearsness on it.
The putter head is
Can we see that?
orange and blue, and it's got bears on it.
There you go.
It's got the logo.
So there's a handful of these too. There's not just one. So head out to the tournament. Your chance to win a Bettinardi Bears putter. Also,
how about I do that while you read?
All you can eat buffet. I got it. You get lunch. It's great. Usually it's what do we have the last couple of years, like taco bar.
We had the taco bar with all the fixins.
Good. Really good.
It's really good.
I mean, all you can eat
fire
tacos.
up the grill.
That's enough reason to come.
Yeah.
All you can eat tacos. And there's opportunities to golf with CHGO talent. So check it out. If you're a diehard, you will save 20% on the golf outing. So go to that, allchgo.com/events. Do it. Sign up. Do it. Join us. Please put me out of my misery.
Now what are we going to do with this?
I'm going to give it back to Max.
Keep it on set.
So yeah, I'll leave it right here. There we go. We're good.
All right.
All right. Mailbag. We ready, Chloe? All right, let's do it. Where are we going first? This one is from Scott.
It's a 2-parter.
Yes. He says, so my question going forward for the Blackhawks as they try to become an annual playoff and cup contending team, what is more important? Second line center, another Frondell type winger, size, skill, two-way game, or a right-handed physical defenseman with an edge and nastiness to their game while also being defensively responsible? Thoughts? And then do we have the second part too?
He expounded.
Like to expound on my previous question, I know time and development of the young players is crucial to becoming a consistent playoff team and cup contender, but what type of player is more important to complete this roster? Right-handed defensive defenseman, another Frondell type winger, or a pure second line two-way center? Now some of these players might already be in the system, but could also be acquired through trade or free agency. Thoughts?
It's a good question. I think, you look at how this roster is built, and we currently and the guys that you're looking at as being like contending pieces, core pieces, all of that, and you don't want to always look back to the most recent stretch of success, but those 2010s cup teams, you look at how all those teams were built, the core, like you kind of see like, okay, well, who could be this player? Who could be that? Who could be Kane? Who could be Tace? Who could be Keith? Like all this stuff. Yes, you got to let those guys be their own, these guys be their own things.
Yes.
But it's hard not to kind of look back and be like, well, those teams had the check boxes, so where are these guys going to be in the check boxes? I feel like the biggest thing that is I think, still missing for the rebuilding group and this core. And again, time for these players to develop can maybe answer the question, but I think we need a true, like, I don't want to say equal, because you just can't just pluck it out and say, oh, you're just going to be the same type of guy, but someone who can run with Connor Bedard for the long term. And maybe Anton Frondell does that. Maybe Roman Kanserov does that. But until we know, like, I think one guy that is a type of player that is truly missing is like another one of those, like, go to, if your A player isn't there, he's going to be there to carry the team. And I just don't know if they have that yet. And again, I don't know exactly what type of player that would need to be. It could be Anton Frondell if he, let's say, eventually moves to wing and it's Bedard and Frondell playing together. Or maybe he is equally as effective as Bedard offensively. Frondell can be equally as effective in an all-around sense as a second-line center, and you have like a Crosby-Malkin situation. Yeah. Like, I think not having or not really knowing or being certain that you could have someone that is close to that same level as Bedard is something that's missing. Those other types of pieces, I think, the right side defenseman, like, I feel like
you can find them.
Between Levshinov and Rinzel, one of those guys could figure it out, or both of them do.
Or you find somebody that, if you need a physical stay-at-home defenseman that plays on the right side, go sign one.
Yeah.
You can do that. I'm with you. And I think also what you're saying is usually the hardest thing to get, right?
Exactly.
Well, they just need another elite top-line scorer.
Exactly,
Just go get one. That's the hard part. And I do, like you're saying, I do believe that Kanserov could potentially get there. I was actually listening to Corey Pronman on the Athletic podcast today, kind of going through everything. And he was asked, him and Max Boltman were talking about Kanserov, and they said, like, is he Brian Rust? Is he Jason Zucker? Is he Vincent Trocheck on the wing? They're trying to find like a comp. He's like, everyone wants to compare him to Kaprizov because he's Russian and he's a winger and he's a little bit undersized, but like they're not really the same kind of player.
Yeah.
I don't know if a Brian Rust or a Jason Zucker is what we're talking about. Now, is it possible that he's better than those guys? I think absolutely. But you're trying to set expectations and not go completely over your skis. This is why I wanted this to be the main question today, because Anaheim has a problem. And they offered Cutter Gauthier a new deal, offering him $13 million a year. He scored 41 goals last year. Mm-hmm. In the playoffs, he had 12 points in 12 games. He is 6'2". He's 205. He's 22 years old. He'll be 23 in January. 5th overall pick in 2022. However, rumors of Pudwactum, right? Like on paper, because Anaheim's got, with the Leo Carlsson offer sheet being matched, they've got some problems. And if Cutter Gauthier has already played hardball with the Flyers, appears to be playing hardball with the Ducks, while he's a perfect answer, maybe that's not a guy I want in the organization. But it feels like he could be available, especially for a team with cap issues. If you give them...
They sure do have issues.
You've got 3 first-round picks next year. You've got myriad prospects that you like, that maybe 2 firsts and a Oliver Moore or a Nick Lardis or plus maybe. But like, you'd also have to know, like, dude, do you want to be here? Mm-hmm. Do you want to play here? If he's on board and he's not going to be a problem, I'm willing to pay Cutter Gauthier probably what he wants to be paid. But I'm a little bit concerned about the personality thing. Like, completely, I was talking to somebody offline just kind of about, what's the deal? Like, what happened in Philly? And they're like, he was kind of offended that he didn't just get offered an NHL slot right away, and then was just unreachable. They sent John LeClaire to talk to him, and he ignored him. They went to the World Juniors to talk to him, and he wouldn't talk to him. And the Flyers felt like he was just going to play 4 years of college and become a free agent. And they're like, well, we better trade him. They trade him for Jamie Drysdale, and now he's in Anaheim, and he's looking at I think his opinion is like, sorry that you got in a situation with Leo Carlsson, but I'm not going to take less than I'm worth because you screwed up negotiating with him.
I'm going to get mine.
And I'm kind of, I see where he's coming from. If you took the Philly part of this out of Cutter Gauthier, I'd be like, absolutely. Yeah. He scored 41 goals last year. He deserves to get paid.
Yeah.
He should have to take a pay cut because of mismanagement in Anaheim, right? Because Pat Verbeek's errors. Right. But the Philly thing scares me away a little bit, man. Like, it would take a ton to get him, but that is immediately answering your question.
Oh, yeah.
You are solving that problem for the next at least 5 years, because that's Bedard's extension. You would assume if you're going to re-sign Gauthier, it would be the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to give him more than Bedard probably, but would you give him corresponding deals or give him $1 million less?
Yeah. Well, and as we kind of learned with the Bowen Byram situation, the reported offer from reportedly the Sharks was, what was it, 4 years, 14?
Yeah.
But he got more term, but equivalent money when you factor in tax rates and all that stuff.
True.
With his deal with Chicago. So you could maybe offer equivalent money to Cutter Gauthier in Chicago at a different tax rate than in California. And it wouldn't, cap hit could stay the same, but the money could go further in his eyes.
But just for the record, it was a 4-year, $13 million contract that the Ducks offered
reportedly.
Gauthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, reportedly. Yeah.
I feel like you have a early 20s guy who put up 40 goals. From the information that you told me from the conversation you had, sounds like a guy who's self-confident and definitely yeah. is a bet on myself type of guy, and is someone who wants to feel appreciated. And I think if you, as the Blackhawks, were to make a big trade and give him that big contract extension, obviously those conversations would be had of like, we want you to this amount of money and this amount of assets that we would give the Ducks for you. Would you want to be here because we believe in you X amount? And I feel like that's kind of what a player of that mentality would want to see. It's just like, okay, you're giving up some top players and you're giving me all this money. I feel like I'm worth it. Chicago seems cool. Young guys on the team that are all kind of up and coming. I could play with all these players. Like, that would seem attractive, I would think. And I would say a player coming into a situation where a team says, we want you, the old Uncle Sam, we want you, specifically, I feel like that's a mood improver. Sure.
I do worry, though, about overall, and I don't know. I'm pleading ignorance on this, but all I know is about Cutter Gauthier is that now 2 teams, he's 22 years old, and 2 teams have had problems with him. Contractually.
Sure.
Contractually, yeah. Right? So, fine. But, like, I need to know that you're not adding a guy who is going to bring down an entire team. And, like, I know I don't coach in the NHL, but I've coached sports for a long time. And if you get that one bad seed, it brings everybody down. Mm-hmm. And, like, that to me would be concerning. So I guess the question would be, we got to find people in Anaheim and be like, what's his presence like?
I would think that.
And if Kyle Davidson's exploring this, I guarantee you he's asking these questions. It's probably the first. There's no question about the talent.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't think, looking at the way contracts are going, $13-14 million for a guy who potted 40 as a 21-year-old.
It's the going rate.
Right. Like, yeah. Absolutely. So I'm willing to do it. I just need to have assurances that you're going to be here, you're going to be happy to be here, and you're not going to be a putz.
I would think that the Pat Verbeek factor is playing a role in what's happening with Anaheim, because with the Karlsson situation, we've learned that Pat Verbeek is a guy that will play hardball with his players. And at one point, Leo Karlsson was like, I would take $9 million and stay in Anaheim and all that stuff. And they were really nitpicking him on the negotiation. And then in their back pocket from Philly, they had the offer sheet. So they said, all right, I'm done dealing with you in this, nickel and diming your future franchise player. I'm going to sign for the most money I can and force you to either match it or I'm taking the money and running. Now, Gauthier probably is going to the table. He's probably already been hardballed and nickel and dimed by Verbeek in previous negotiations, and then the Carlson situation goes down and the Mitnikov situation goes down in response to that. And they're like, oh, we got to get all of our ducks in a row.
Or Flyers.
And it's just like, well, he's like, well, it's not my fault that you got left with $9 million and I'm worth more than $9 million. You got to figure something out here if you really want me. I don't find that as necessarily being like a locker room problem. I feel like that's just being kind of shrewd in the business side of things and being like, look, I'm not gonna cut down my own paycheck significantly in my eyes.
You shouldn't,
just because you had a problem getting your books figured out.
No, I'm totally with you. The Ducks thing does not bother me. It's the Flyers thing that bothers me.
Yeah.
That he just was like, no, I'm not talking to you. You offended.
Which is actually surprising because he would have had to have gone and played for John Tortorella, which have fun with that.
Yeah.
But I guess, getting the opportunity to go to the NHL right away after playing a year in college is whoever you're playing for, the money is enticing and the opportunity is enticing. It's more enticing than going to Ecology 101 or whatever, Economy 101.
Did you see Lane Hudson? We should get it. Hang on. Well, we're going to take the break. When we come back, I heard a funny Lane Hudson story. We'll share on the other side. That's next on CHGO. Summer heat is here, and your air conditioning is working harder than ever. Don't wait for it to break down. Call Four Seasons today and schedule a complete AC tune-up for just $89.95. Their experts are available 24/7 for emergency service with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays, because that is when it is guaranteed to break. That's how things work in this life. And if your AC breaks down after your tune-up, don't worry. Four Seasons will fix it at no additional cost. Now is also the perfect time to upgrade during Four Seasons Summer Savings Event. Take advantage of 72 months of interest-free financing, up to $4,000 in rebates, and same-day installation at no extra cost. Plus, Four Seasons will beat any competitor's offer by $1,000 guaranteed. Four Seasons is your trusted local expert for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. Again, that's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com.
New vehicles are in store at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal during the Make This the Summer event. Head to Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams models. And right now, you can get up to 25% off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 1500 models or 0% financing for 60 months on new models. Plus, you can shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With the friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is there to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. And since they prioritize affordability, you know you won't overpay for the vehicle you need. And Ray's price promise lets you shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees. Don't miss out on the Make This the Summer event for huge savings on the Ram 1500 or 0% financing on new models. For more information, visit Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963.
All right, we're back on CHGO Blackhawks. We only have 46 likes. We need more than that. I know we're at a weird time. We appreciate if you're checking us out later at the normal time, but hit that like button for us. It matters big time. It is now time for the big takeaway presented by Xfinity. Imagine that. Get yourself some good-ass Wi-Fi with Xfinity. What? They'll love that. They have great internet. I am an Xfinity loyalist. All right, so someone in the chat will know this came across my timeline, and I was either just waking up and forgot to save it. I believe it might have been Morning Cuppa, the podcast with Colby Cohen and Johnny Laz, but Lane Hudson was on some podcast, and he was talking about this course he was taking at BU, which is clearly we're going to put our athletes in this class, and it's going to be fine. And I don't know the name of it, but it was remedial math or something. And it was basically, he was saying the idea of the class was to teach the students how to teach children math, but at no point in the class did they actually interact with children. So they'd be like, okay, so if you're working with kids, a good thing to do would be like roll dice and be like 6 + 2 is 8.
8, as we all know.
This is a really effective game to teach children how to learn math. And like, it was just an entire course of just absolute nonsense.
I could see that being a real course.
Yes.
But I could also see that being like, okay, our athletes are also going to take this
we're going to put the athletes in this class, and we're going to teach them elementary games to learn basic math.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing here is playing hockey, and
which could also be helpful to them.
Yeah, of course. Sure. It was just, and he was just telling it like, I appreciate. It was Cole Hudson. That's why I can't find it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Cole Hudson. That's why I'm having trouble finding it because I searched the wrong name. But he's just like, yeah, like it just was a total joke, and we all just he was just like not even hiding the fact that it was a blow-off class. It was so funny. Like, and he was just like, yeah, and all of us were in the class together, and we'll find it. We'll find it and share it for you. We'll retweet it from the show account later today. But it was just so funny. So we're gonna make that the we're gonna make that the segment. That's the big takeaway.
That's good.
Presented by Xfinity. Imagine that. I have a child of friends that has their eye on BU.
Okay.
And they're like, it's really demanding to get in, and I don't know if I'm smart enough to make it. I said, well, Cole Hudson got in. Are you any good at hockey? They are not.
Well,
unfortunately.
Yes. I'm whenever college hockey courses and like the actual school side of things come up, I'm always reminded of Vlasic. We had him on to talk about this years ago. This was now, but the email he sent when he turned pro,
yes,
and he was, you see it on the screen here. He's doing a group project and he goes, hey, sorry guys, I won't be able to finish the group project. I'm going to play pro hockey. See ya never. Like, it's just such an interesting like situation for those guys to be in, where it's just like, okay, I'm done with school now. Like, bye. I'm gonna go play. You know, like Vlasic did it, and like Mora and Renzel and Ryan Green and Boisvert, like just like ending school just abruptly and just like leaving and going and playing, like going and turning pro. Like it's such an interesting spot to be in.
It was the Empty Netters podcast. Correction.
All right.
So Cole Hudson says, they weren't actual little kids in there. It was preschool level math, like 1 + 1.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's
so
insane.
We'll find the full video.
Man, I wish I could have taken those courses in college.
Yeah. Well,
that's fantastic.
Be better at hockey.
You can do that. I should have been. Yeah.
All right, let's get another mailbag in here. We've gotten one down in 38 minutes.
Did we finish the conversation about Cutter Gauthier?
I think elite top line forward is where we need to go, right?
Yeah.
And Gauthier is, if you're going to make a trade for him, which I feel is really unlikely.
I don't think it's going to happen.
But if you're going to, you've got to do your due diligence on, does he want to be here? How's he going to be in the room?
I also think, too, if we're living in that world where that's on the table, looking at the Ducks organization, I don't think you're giving them top forwards. I think they're looking at, like, we want top defensemen.
Kevin Korchinski.
We want top defensemen.
And Ethan Del Mastro.
All right. Yes. RFA for RFA deal. Yes. There you go.
Figure it out.
That's completely fair.
All right. Next one here. Can't see that name. Maticus says, listening to the Foligno interview for Monday, do you think Nick should get an offer to retire as a Blackhawk based on what he brought to the young team during his tenure as captain? I know he was only with them for 3 years compared to the 9 in Columbus, but it's clear he meant a lot more to the team than those 3 years would suggest. Or should the honor of the one-day retirement contract be reserved only for Blackhawks legends?
There's your answer.
Yeah, I don't think Nick Foligno.
I like Nick.
We love Nick.
He's got a lot of people who really like and appreciate his time in Chicago. There's people who also were sick of him, but like
fans that were sick of him, not like teammates and
no fans.
Staff,
yes,
just to be clear,
fans. Maybe there were teammates. I don't know, but as far as like the fan response to him, anyways, I feel like if anyone is going to give him a 1-day contract, it's going to be Columbus. Like, his formative, like, career years were in Columbus. The impact he had in the Columbus community is still felt, still represented, still loved there. I feel like, if anything, for like we said on Monday, like, he will probably be down the road remembered as like a Marty LaPointe or an Adrian Aucoin, where it was just like, they were here, they were a captain, they were tasked with like being the babysitter for the next generation that pushed things forward, and not to say forgotten, but definitely like unsung. But he's also someone that, like, if a couple of years from now, once he's retired and they show him on the video board, he'll get cheers. Yeah. People will be like, oh, hey, Nick Foligno, hey, cool, we'll cheer.
The way they should honor him is to give him a job on the broadcast.
He'd be good. He'd be really good.
That's what I would do.
Anyone who cuts their teeth here at CHGO is...
That's right. We prepped him. We'll give him a 1-day contract here, and then he can go sign with CHSN.
There you go.
But no, I think 1-day contracts are for
he'll get that.
People that might have their number in the rafters. All right, this one is from Kid K. He says, I know we may be a year or two in most cases before worrying about this. With all that's happening in Anaheim, how does Kyle Davidson manage if 4 to 5 Hawks take enormous steps as they hit RFA? Rinzel, Levchinov, Frondell, etc. These guys develop in the next year or two. They could be looking at 3 guys at over $8 million AAV easily. Could get tough. No. Yes, it could.
Yeah, it will. Usually when you get to a point where you are a contending team and you are having, the level of success that we saw, a decade ago, where you're perennially in the playoffs and you're in the conversation for the Stanley Cup, you're spending every single dollar that you can to maximize your team. It's not an easy job. It can be made more difficult by signing bad contracts and bad business. But I think, like, as we've kind of seen from Kyle Davidson so far with the significant contracts that he's done, like Vlasic, Knight, Nazar, and now Bedard, like those extensions, we still need to see like what Frank does on the new contract and moving forward. But like fair value for Alex Vlasic, fair value for Spencer Knight, I fair value for Connor Bedard, I would say. Yeah. Especially over the length of that deal. And I think it's fair to assume Frank will also get to fair value on his contract, if not overachieve.
If Frank was a UFA this summer, he would have signed for more than that. I don't think
or
there's any
equivalent
doubt about
at least.
it.
Yeah. So as the cap goes up, what we know is next season, this year is $104 million. Next season, $113.5 projected right now. Depending on who you listen to, that number could also go up before we get to 2027. And then the 2028-29 cap is projected right now at $123 million. Over the 27-28 and 28-29 seasons, as it stands right now, the Hawks have projected cap space of almost $43 million for the 27-28 season and $67.89 million for the 28-29 season. And as the question said, you got to get a Levchinov extension, a Rinzel extension. You will have a Frondell extension at some point in there to get done. So you're getting to that point where you got to figure out, and as we've kind of talked about with this rebuild, like there's going to be a time when all these guys that we've put a lot of time and love into, like them as prospects and their development, some of them are going to be cut just because of, the guys that rise to the top get paid and they get the lineup spots and they have to earn it. So if a guy, is here and he does well, but it's like the standard and the floor has risen so high that like he's not going to get that extension, then that's tough. That's tough business for Kyle Davidson to do, but it's also indicative of a good team.
That would be a really nice problem to have. If I'm Davidson, and look, we know how much he believes in these guys. Like,
yeah,
no one is as bullish on the Blackhawks as Kyle Davidson is. He fully believes that this team is. He sort of maybe softly doubled down on playoffs when we talked to him a couple weeks ago. Like, I expect us to be in the conversation, even with the Bedard injury. Like, so he believes that all these guys, not all, but like most of these guys he drafted are going to be great and potentially create that problem for him. That's why if I'm him, I'm getting ahead of as many of these things as I can, like you did with Nazar, and like you did with Vlasic, and like you did with Spencer Knight. Was that early or no?
Early?
No,
that was last summer.
Yeah. So that was not a year early. But as many of these year early things as you can get done, do it, because, like you said, the names you mentioned, you also have Ryan Green needs a contract this summer. Next summer, Oliver Moore needs a contract next summer. Landon Slager needs a contract next summer. Wyatt Kaiser needs a contract next summer. Levshinov, Renzel.
Well, and guys like Kaiser, could extend now.
They could,
right? Yeah,
I'm doing as many of those early as I can do.
Yeah,
that's how I'm looking at it.
There's, obviously, there's different ways you can structure it. You don't have to sign everybody to the max term, the max length. You might see a number of 2-year extension, like, bridge deals and whatnot, to kind of kick the can down the road and see what happens. I also think there's an aspect of, as the roster is constructed now and looking into next season, some of these players that, like a Teuvo Teravainen, couple, was he at 5.4? 5.4. Like a guy like Teuvo, a guy like Ryan Donato. Now, I know we had the whole thing about extending him, but 4 years, $4 million, like, that'll eventually run out in the time frame of, we're talking about some of these players that need extensions. Bertuzzi, who knows kind of what they do with him.
He's got this year and next is 5.5.
Yeah. But again, like, let's say they move on from those three guys in the next, what would be 3 years.
Yeah.
You're very likely replacing 5.5, and $4 million with entry-level deal.
That's when, like, you're talking about Nestor still arriving and Rest arriving theoretically.
Exactly. That's kind of like making sure a rebuild goes well, is that you're drafting and developing this young talent so that when you're looking to, like, reload, you get a guy that's cheap, rather than having to go and get another.
I think in our haste to try to, like, as we were talking about with Gauthier, like, hey, you got 3 first-round picks next year. You've already made 1 million first-round picks. Like, why 3 more? Well, because if all these guys pan out, you're going to lose a couple of them. Yeah. Maybe. And you need cheap talent to come and fill those gaps.
You want to still be able to have your prospect system. It doesn't have to be top 5, but still have a few
middle of the road.
Have a few players in your farm system that you can pluck from and be like, yes, draft, develop, get to the NHL. Good player.
Have a guy come and be a bottom pair defenseman or a bottom 6 forward.
Yeah.
Like that's it doesn't have to be for, you would imagine, like, your superstars will be there. When we'll go back to the Dynasty Hawks, the constants were the superstars. And then it was always talent, and then later Sam Bowman had to, like, tinker around the fringes and be like, all right, I've got 25 cents to work with, and I got 3 people to do it. You know what I mean? Like, and you've just got to find a way to fill those gaps in accordingly. That's a huge part of a GM's job. And Chris O'Hearn, is that the guy the Hawks hired? Mm-hmm. The capologist from the Wild. Yeah. Like that, like, it's great to have him now, but when this problem hopefully emerges someday, that's when you want a guy like that who's going to be, all right, like, we need to fill this role for this much money. You've got a giant analytics staff. Mm-hmm. This is a question I want to ask Davidson, and maybe I will someday. Like, do you have a database? Like, the Ian Cole signing fascinates me, because clearly they're like, we have a need. We have this much money. We have these guys coming, so I don't want to commit long term. Mm-hmm. Who fits this role? Beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 and it spits out Ian Cole, and you're like, great, we'll sign Ian Cole for a year, and he will fill this gap. We'll give him $4 million, and we've got our physical, stay-at-home veteran defenseman. Done.
I hope they're not Keith Pellying it with AI trades.
Well,
and
yeah, I know, but
I know what you're saying.
Do they have some sort of, like, database of?
Oh, I'm sure.
Value, experience, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
and they can just check all the boxes, like, on the spreadsheet, and, like, the names pop up.
Yeah, that's where your pro scouting department.
Yeah,
really,
and I'm certainly oversimplifying things, but like, I just hope that because that's as you get to the point where hopefully your rebuild has become successful, you are, as all good teams do, going to run into cap woes.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you manage and fill in those gaps behind it? And I think while Stan Bowman lost his damn fool mind late in his tenure, he did a very good job of that early in his tenure of, I've got limited cap space. I got to fill a role. I always go back to Michael Handzus. When they got him, it was Michael Handzus, this guy's ancient. He's slow as hell. What is he? But he was exactly what they needed. Right? Mm-hmm. Wins face-off, solid defensively, pokes in a big goal now and again, plays, you can predictable game. I think even Johnny Oduya is kind of in that way of no one really thought of Johnny Oduya as an elite defenseman. He's pretty good, middle pair guy, yeah, fine. But the way he performed in his role in Chicago was so elevated to where he was elsewhere because of who he played with. That's when the GMs and the cap gurus and the scouts really, really make their money is finding those little diamonds in the rough that can fill those gaps in when cap issues become a real thing.
Yeah.
So
and I think too, what can help Davidson is always keeping foresight. Don't get wrapped up in pain for past performance, because that's what sunk Stan Bowman's cap situation.
Thanks.
Do it,
Brent Seabrook.
Do what you've been doing so far to the best of your ability to pay for the guys that you expect to be pushing this thing forward and continuing to be okay, we feel certain that we need to get, if it's Oliver Moore or Nick Lardis or Renzel or whoever locked into a 6-year deal or something, where other people might be you got that much term for that. If you feel certain about it, you got to stick to those. Stick to that gun.
I think we can look back a little bit and look every GM maybe learns from past mistakes. And as much as we were all stumping for it, the Ryan Donato thing now, in hindsight, looks like probably a bit of a mistake. I think if they could undo that deal, not that they don't like Ryan Donato. Yeah. But you're paying, it's only $4 million, which is nothing now.
I feel for a guy who's a bottom 6, play all over the lineup type of spot filler and can do whatever you ask of him.
I feel he potentially creates a roster problem down the road, maybe even this year.
I don't think it's a big problem. It could be something I wish it wasn't $4 million, but I think there's ways you can live with Ryan Donato. And
I don't. Could you foresee a circumstance where he's the guy sitting when Bedard's back?
This year?
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not. I think Ryan Donato, his value as a player is not to be the guy he was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
That's such an anomaly. But I think to be a guy who's we might need you to kill penalties. We might need you to play those energy matchup fourth line forward minutes. Oh, we got an injury. Can you play second power play unit? Can you play 15
versatile.
minutes a night? Can you play center? Can you play what? He can do all of those things. It's good to have someone like that on your team, who's good at a lot of things, but maybe not necessarily great at anything, rather than having a guy we kind of had the conversation about Patrick Laine, right? That's a guy that's good at one thing.
Yeah.
And it's just
most
of the time.
Yeah.
But it's if you don't have a spot for him to do that one thing, what do you do with him?
Right.
And I don't think Ryan Donato is one of those guys.
All right, let's get one more mailbag question in here if we can. We'll continue these as the week goes on, as we always do. This one is from Featherhead, right? Featherhead 88. I don't care what anyone else has to say. Chicago is the most electric hockey fan base. 2 million people at the 13 and 15 parades is almost twice as big as the next biggest city celebrations for a Cup championship team. With the Cubs getting hot, the Sox and the Bulls hopefully getting better, along with the Hawks. Mm-hmm. If we are blessed to win another Cup in the next 5 years, do you think this city will show up like they did in 15? Do you think they could set a new record parade attendance? Parade attendance record.
See, I've tried to think about this. Like where we're kind of at with the rebuild process and the fan base. Are we at the point of where it's just like, I know the answer. We're not at the point yet where it's just like the Blackhawks are grabbing those bandwagon.
Yeah. Patrick Kane has helped in that regard.
Fringe fans like pulling them into the team. Right. We're not there yet. That 08, 09, 09, 10 run, that's where you started pulling those people in, and then you won the cup.
Right.
And then you had the sustained success, and it turned over year over year. I think there is a very, very dedicated Blackhawks fan base. But I think the last couple of years probably put a couple of those fans on the back burner.
They're hibernating.
Yeah, put them, lulled them to sleep. They got to wake back up. And hopefully this season does that. So that in the next 5 years, you have, not just in Blackhawks fandom, but around the city, you got people being like, I love Frank Nazar, or I love Anton Frondel, or like people becoming more household names outside of just like, I'm a diehard Blackhawks fan, I'm a season ticket holder, I watch CHGO every day, so I know these guys. Like more of that, like, and outside of like the diehard fan base, you could say the name Connor Bedard or Frank Nazar or Oliver Moore or whoever, and they're like, oh yeah, I know them, or my sister's got his jersey, or whatever it is. Like, I don't feel like the fan base necessarily is at that stage right now.
I feel like this year
it definitely can get back there.
And I think like we talk a lot about like defining goals and like point totals and playoff contention and stats and all those sort of things. But I think like at worst, this season should do something to like really, really get fans excited that haven't been for a while, to make it to the point where people are checking out games that maybe they haven't in a few years. Like we made the comparison to the White Sox yesterday, where went from, what was it, 3 years ago was like the historically bad, maybe 2 years ago, like the worst team in history kind of conversation.
What was it, the 21-22 season where they went to the playoffs? Or not 21-22, I think it was 22 that they went to the playoffs. Yeah. And then it was like 24, they were the worst team in baseball, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But they go from that to now doing very well very quickly. And now, like, I don't think Sox fans have any expectation of the Sox winning the World Series this year.
It feels like they're ahead of schedule.
They absolutely are.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm looking here. In 2024, they were 41-121.
Shout out to the CHGO Sox crew.
Yeah, last year 60-102. This year they're 65-60. They already have really more wins than 5 more wins than last year.
That's really good.
In almost 37 fewer games, if my math is correct.
Yeah,
or 27 fewer games, whatever it might be. It's unbelievable. Like, that is a huge jump. And again, no one thinks the White Sox are going to win the World Series this year. I don't think. But you see it, and now the crosstown has a different feel to it.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't seen fights in the bleachers in a long time.
Wow.
We have not heard Sox fans being loud as hell at Wrigley Field in many years. For sure. And I'll say, like, I take the Dan Ryan home every day. Usually, if there's a Sox game going on and I go by, the only way I know if there's a game or not is if the lights are on.
Mm-hmm.
Now I drive by and I can look and I can see there's people in the upper deck. There's people in the seats. People are going. Last year, 2025, their total attendance was 1,445,000 and change. This year already, 1.5 million.
Huh,
They've already beaten last year's attendance.
Hey, winning solves a lot of problems.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, I feel like the Hawks could be, again, it's different because they're not going to go from worst to first and win the Central like the Sox look like they're going to. But in terms of generating excitement, showing fans that have been like dubious about the process that, hey, look, like, do you now see, like, the light at the end of the tunnel will become clear for most, I hope, is the ultimate conclusion of the season. I mean, a couple would be great.
It would be.
But like, realistically,
having
the worst case scenario is, hey, everybody, these guys are young and exciting and they're going to be good someday. Cool.
Having a season where you kind of have that like arrival feeling, like that'll be that would be huge. And it's also too, like, I feel like we're kind of at a generation turnover as far as fandom goes. Cause like someone like myself, I was in my early 20s during those cup runs. Now I'm in my mid 30s. I have children. Like a lot of people are now kind of like getting their kids into the Hawks and stuff. And like to have a team to push them, like that's going to be a big deal too.
We're going to go to overtime here in a second. So switch over to allchgo.com to continue the coverage. Yeah, you're right. Like, and now this is always my argument at this core. I know I talk about this a lot. Like, people don't care about the Hawks. Well, they do, because now the people that were 10 in 2010 are now, they've got their own money and their own families. And the Hawks were their number one team because everybody else except the Cubs was bad during that time. So, like, jump on it, right? And I think there is a massive Hawks fan base bubbling under the surface. And I think we saw, like, I think back to that Blues game last year when the Hawks just beat the crap out of them on national TV.
It's fun.
You know, Biz is apologizing to Connor Bedard basically. And they're like, we don't want to wait. We don't care about rebuilding. We want to win now. Like, that should be the feeling we have all year. And are there going to be bad games or bad stretches? Yeah, of course. Of course, it's a young team. There's going to be games that make you want to throw your TV out the window. But more often than not, at the end of 60 minutes at the United Center, you should feel good about what you saw and excited about what's coming. That, to me, if it doesn't feel that way after 2026, 27, we've got a problem. Then we have to have some really hard conversations.
Yeah, then you're in a spot where you're now you're definitely going to, I think you would definitely feel a little bit behind schedule of what the rebuild should be if this season isn't showing a lot of those steps.
Yeah. Can I take one more shot at Corey Pronman?
By all means.
He was talking about the Hawks rebuild, and he's like, well, you missed on Adam Boquist and Kirby Doc. It's like,
what do you mean you missed on them?
Like, it's draft picks. That's it. They're tapping out. I just think you should watch the sport you cover.
I don't
know, it's just me.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Is Adam Boquist still in the NHL?
Yes.
That's a legitimate question I have.
So I wonder deal with the Islanders on May 30th, 2025. So is he a free agent now?
Good for him.
Bring him back. Run it back.
2025? Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. Adam Boquist.
Look, I wish all the best.
He does have no contract as of now.
Okay.
Still available.
I wish all the best to Kirby Doc, but I'd rather have Frank Nazar right now.
Me too. All right. That's yes. The GOAT debate before Mario crashes out. I'm going to move this putter.
I don't think I could.
I don't want the putter to go through the TV.
I will. I promise to our CHGO listeners, I will stop in my writing of anything about prospects. I will stop using Corey Pronman's analysis.
All right.
I think it's, as you heard yesterday's show, we don't need to run through it again. But just seeing what he's put out the last 2 days, seeing the response to it, like, it's not just a Blackhawks thing.
No.
Every team has a gripe with what he's got going on. I can't take him seriously anymore.
Okay.
That's crazy.
The GOAT debate. We've been doing it all week here at ALLCITY and at CHGO. Today, we have revealed the winner of the all-time GOAT athlete. And once again, it is a win for the city of Chicago. Mm-hmm. And just to remind everybody, it's not just Chicago voting. It's Chicago, it's Dallas, it's Denver, it's Phoenix. It's all the all-city networks voting, all their diehards voting. Michael Jordan, number one. Another Chicago athlete comes in at number two. White Sox legend Bo Jackson.
Of course, yes.
That's how he's remembered. Michael Phelps at 3, Wayne Gretzky at 4, and LeBron James at 5. Now, we do have a little hockey angle here.
Yes, finally.
We were talking before the show about, like, hey, the fact that Wayne Gretzky made it in a landscape of fan bases that are probably not hockey as their top 2 or 3 sports.
Well, and like an all athletes thing, obviously you see Michael Phelps there,
right?
You know, people considering the whole scape of sports.
Well, I still love the stat. I know some of Gretzky's mystique has worn off since Ovechkin broke his record. But if you take away all of Wayne Gretzky's goals, he is still the NHL's all-time leading scorer. That's all you need to know. Crazy. Yeah. More assists than anyone has goals and assists combined.
He was accepted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he was accepted. But we were talking about if you were to have like a multi-event athlete
decathlon.
Sure, yes, and like it's
Festivus feats of strength,
running, and it's weightlifting, and it's whatever, like whatever events you want to say. Like, how would Wayne Gretzky fare? Right, compared to Jordan and LeBron and Bo Jackson, and like these guys, when you look at them, they look like, Greek gods, right? And their physique and everything. Where Gretzky is kind of like spindly and thin, and like most hockey players
primes,
are.
In their primes, yeah.
Well, we found a video from years ago where Wayne Gretzky did a foot race with Pele, Bjorn Borg, and there was one other athlete who's escaping me. Oh, Sugar Ray Leonard. And he blew them out of the water. Like he was
back in like
5
the 80s.
Or 6 strides ahead. And this is in the 80s in his, in all their primes. It was unbelievable. So I think that like hockey players as athletes get a little bit underestimated because much like a swimmer, and I'm not saying like Michael Phelps isn't like ripped, but it's not like a traditional. Like when you think of someone that's ripped, it's like big shoulders, huge biceps.
Yeah.
Like
is there
a
sport that has as much of a connection to a physical type as someone's like, oh, they have a swimmer's body?
Yeah, because it's long muscle, it's lean muscle,
long, lanky.
Like when you look at Michael Phelps, everything looks long.
He was genetically built to swim.
Right, his biceps are long, like they're not like a ball here. It's like a long muscle.
Wide shoulders.
Right, exactly. Like, but I feel like hockey players get a little bit underappreciated in the level of athlete they are.
I feel like it's because the skill to play hockey is so unique. It's so like, you can't just be like, oh, I can ice skate. Like, no, you have to ice skate at like 25 miles per hour and cut on a dime and all this stuff. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, like I can knock a puck back and forth. Like you have to shoot it 100, or not 100, but like 90 miles per hour to be effective. And it's just like, those are just things that not everyone can just like translate. Cause like basketball, run fast, jump high, shooting and making buckets is not super
very
easy.
Athletic, yeah.
But like speed, strength, you also like, if you're built like myself, 5'9" and
5 foot nothing,
a weight,
100 and nothing,
you're not gonna succeed in basketball because everyone around you is like point guards are like 6'5" now. Like it's a completely like that's another sport that like to succeed in basketball you need to kind of be more often than not a specific body type. Yeah. Whereas hockey, you can be 6'6", 240 pounds. You could also be 5'8", 150 pounds, and you can find varying degrees of success.
Right, which hockey player currently would translate into like a multi-sport athlete? Like, do you think you could like throw on the football field and they've had success? The one guy comes into my brain is Tom Wilson.
Oh yeah,
I feel like Tom Wilson. You could put
Mason West and AJ Spellacy.
There you go, Mason West.
Football players.
Why is Mason West not on the GOAT debate list? He won state and he's a great hockey player.
Well, I feel like McDavid is got it. He's like what 6'2". Yeah. Like I could see him, playing wide receiver or something like that. Like and like Jordan and Bo Jackson played baseball at successful levels, and Deion Sanders football and baseball, and
like
everyone always says like LeBron would be like the best tight end in the NFL or all that stuff. Like I feel like the athleticism is so unique.
We need to bring this event, this like made for TV event back.
Yeah,
where you just get the greatest athletes,
ABC's Wild World of Sports,
and just have them compete against each other and stuff they don't normally do.
I would love it.
That'd be fun.
I'd love it.
Yeah, if I'm drafting a hockey team though, I think Tom Wilson is my pick
to play a different,
to like represent the NHL in a wide variety of sports.
Yeah, Wilson
6'4", 225.
I feel like I'm trying to think. Is Crosby any good at anything besides hockey?
Is Crosby good?
No, who's
at other sports?
Isn't there? Chloe, you might know this. Isn't
Crosby played baseball, basketball, and badminton?
Oh, okay.
When he was younger.
I was gonna say, isn't Nathan McKinnon like really into baseball, or am I thinking of Crosby?
No, he's into snorkeling.
Yes, swimming. Maybe I am thinking of Crosby. Phil Kessel was a great basketball player. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, go back and watch the whatever that was, the Road to the Winter Classic or something, when he was on the Penguins, or maybe it was just their whatever they always have their behind the scenes docu series going on or whatever it is. But there's a scene of him playing Ryan Reeves in basketball, and Phil could hoop.
He's one of those dudes that's like, why are you good at everything? Like, you look at him and he's like, this guy is.
You shouldn't be athletic.
Well, yeah, like there's just something there. I think a lot of it is just like, a lot of it's probably mental. I don't know. I can do it. Why not? Why not me? All right, we're going to wrap things up. We will be back tomorrow, also at noon. Tell your friends, get in a Discord, remind people we should have done that today. We're dumb. Maybe you did. I missed it. But we'll be back at noon tomorrow, then back at 3 on Friday. Oh, Tom Glavine.
That's a good one.
Yeah, yep. Tom Glavine was drafted in the NHL. He was accepted into the NHL. All right, thanks to Chloe for running the show. Talk to you tomorrow at noon on CHGO Blackhawks.
We all silly like the mayor.